In 1929, Ethel Barrymore went to the Mayo Clinic to lose weight and was put on the 18-day diet, which reduced her caloric intake to olives, toast, and grapefruit. From there, it took the country by storm. Until, that is, its disciples began dying. The stories of these icons' diets are far deeper than they seem. Old Hollywood was not immune to toxic dieting culture, and pressure from various outside forces caused many stars to develop disordered eating patterns. Here we are going to talk about 30 more Hollywood celebrities who have really strange dietary habits. Marilyn Monroe loved the liver. Marilyn Monroe's life and career have been analyzed extensively. The Hollywood icon was endlessly fascinating to droves of people when she was at the height of her career, and she remains a touchstone in pop culture to this day. As the star of Some Like It Hot and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Monroe's work life and love affairs were not the only interesting things about her. Take her diet, for instance. "I've been told that my eating habits are absolutely bizarre, but I don't think so," the starlet told Pageant magazine, as reported by British Vogue. We're of the opinion that Monroe's diet was, in fact, bizarre. Monroe started her day by drinking a concoction of warm milk and 2 whipped raw eggs, and swallowed a multivitamin pill for good measure. "I doubt if any doctor could recommend a more nourishing breakfast for a working girl in a hurry," Monroe said of her morning meal. As the day went on, things didn't get any less bizarre for Monroe. In the evenings, Monroe cooked either a steak, lamb chops, or liver, and she ate her meat of choice with a side of raw carrots. For dessert, the icon treated herself to the most appetizing food choices, and it was a hot fudge sundae. Elizabeth Taylor switched her diet often. An Oscar-winning actor known for films like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Elizabeth Taylor was one talented woman. Many of her career achievements have been overshadowed by her personal life, especially her collections of jewelry and husbands, but she was forthcoming in most aspects of her life, including what she ate on a daily basis. In 1986, Taylor detailed her diet secrets for the New York Times in an article called Elizabeth Taylor, Diet Tips on How to Become a Size 6. In the piece, Taylor shared how she had gained and subsequently lost weight, noting that once she reached her goal weight, she was cognizant of her diet every day of the week but one. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, with lots of gravy, lima beans, corn, chocolate cake of some kind. "But then the next 2 days you really have to watch it," Taylor said of the food she ate once a week. The following year, Taylor wrote a book called Elizabeth Takes Off. In it, she shared more specific foods that she ate, like plain veal, a tuna salad made with tomato paste, grapefruit, scallions, and mayonnaise, and a snack of cottage cheese and sour cream over fruit. Mae West had a daily enema. Mae West was another interesting lady. The vaudeville actor became one of the most notable performers of her time in Hollywood, with films like She Done Him Wrong and I'm No Angel in her repertoire. Still, she was far more famous for being unapologetic about herself and her sexuality and delivering quotes like, "It is better to be looked over than overlooked," as reported by Biography. West was apparently also known for giving herself a daily coffee enema. The famous beauty queen whom I knew, Mae West, was a great believer in the benefits of the enema. West's friend, Bernard Jensen, D.C., wrote in his book, Tissue Cleansing Through Bowel Management. She started every day with a morning enema. Jensen noted that he believed West's enemas were partially responsible for her good health. While enema have long been used in the medical setting, experts warn that they need to be done with care, especially at home. If you don't know, enema is the cleansing of the bowels via a rectal injection of fluids. But remember, according to Lauren Panoff of the Healthline, though enemas can be safe and effective, they come with many risks, especially when administered at home. Improperly used enemas can cause potentially life-threatening physical and chemical damage to your rectum or colon. Marlon Brando loved meat. Marlon Brando had a long career in Hollywood. The 2-time Oscar winner was just as well known for his role in one of his first feature films, A Streetcar Named Desire, as he was for one in the latter half of his career, The Godfather. Privately, though, the actor allegedly battled a binge-eating disorder. Reports say Brando was known to eat entire boxes of Mallomars and jars of peanut butter when he was in his 20s, and he would counteract the binging by starving himself in preparation for a role. While filming, Brando was said to have often had a supper of 2 steaks with potatoes and 2 apple pies. The actor also reportedly once had ham and champagne flown to Tahiti for him to eat while on a film site. Jean Harlow followed a 4-day diet. Jean Harlow lived a short but impactful life. On June 7, 1937, at age 26, Harlow died from kidney failure. The dynamic actor garnered over 40 acting credits during her career and left a legacy as one of the most prominent old Hollywood stars despite her premature death. Like many stars, Harlow had to abide by the beauty standards of the time in order to keep working, and it affected how she ate. Harlow reportedly followed a 4-day diet whenever she felt she needed to lose weight. While she was filming, Harlow subsisted on just cottage cheese and vegetables. When Harlow ate as she pleased, she chose some delicious meals like chicken a la king and beef stew, but she also shared recipes that sound wholly unappetizing. One of her famous dishes was stuffed celery a la shrimp. Harlow would shred shrimp, mix it with minced celery and mayonnaise, and put it on top of celery stalks. In another recipe, Harlow would arrange tomato and orange slices on a plate of lettuce to look like a flower and put a dollop of mayonnaise and minced onion in the middle. Greta Garbo kept the same few foods. Swedish actor Greta Garbo was once told that American men only desired thin women, and her life thereafter was marked by restrictive diets, largely per the instructions of Hollywood nutritionist Gaylord Hauser. The two lived together, and Garbo ate concoctions of Hauser's that seem to have since been retired from the food space. One of Garbo's go-to meals was a veggie burger made from wild rice and chopped hazelnuts with boiled grapefruit and molasses. The actor also often had a drink of raw eggs and orange juice, and she was known to have Hauser's celery loaf. Said loaf was made of pureed celery, walnuts, parsley, onions, mushrooms, butter, eggs, and breadcrumbs, and it was baked in a bath of milk. Garbo was also one to go through periods of time in which she only ate the same foods for every meal. After receiving the comment about men only liking thin women, Garbo allegedly went 3 weeks only eating spinach. At one time, she had lunches of just red and yellow carrots, and during another time in her life, Garbo's only food choices were chicken, dried apricots, whole milk, brown beans, and biscuits. Marlene Dietrich loved liverwurst and potatoes. German actor Marlene Dietrich was no stranger to making waves during her tenure in Hollywood. The Oscar nominee had definitive opinions on love, life, and food, most of which she documented in her book, Marlene Dietrich's ABCs, Wit, Wisdom, and Recipes. As reported by Bustle, Dietrich wrote about some of her favorite foods in her book. Liverwurst, the consolation of the sad, Dietrich said. Potatoes, I love them. I eat them, she added. Dietrich also gave general kitchen advice like, nourish your frying pan with lard, and, when you add yolks and don't know what to do with the whites, add a few drops of lemon, a bit of toilet water, and you have a very good hand lotion. In addition to her affinity for potatoes and predilection for soothing sadness with liverwurst, Dietrich's most beloved meal was one we can absolutely get behind, hot dogs and champagne. Pola Negri subsisted on eggs and spinach. Pola Negri, a Polish actor known for works like Belladonna and The Spanish Dancer, hasn't maintained the same legacy as some of her contemporaries, but she did have one thing in common with many old Hollywood stars, a bizarre diet. Sadly, like many of the icons of the time, Negri also allegedly had studio executives pressuring her to lose weight. As reported by the Daily Mail, a 1929 issue of Photoplay magazine asserted that, in an effort to lose weight, Negri had spinach and hard-boiled eggs at every meal for an extended period of time. While the publication noted Negri's diet, it also asserted that her food choices, as well as those of many actors of the time, were not healthy. It claimed that Barbara Lamar's death was due to an unhealthy diet influenced by the diet culture of the time, and it suggested alternative meal plans to what celebrities of the time were following. Grapefruit, fish, and tomatoes were among the suggestions for breakfast, with roast beef and potato, and roast lamb and squash among the suggestions for lunch and dinner. The publication also noted that those following the suggested meal plan should not only eat the same foods each day. Joan Crawford was into spoonfuls of soup. Oscar winner Joan Crawford was known for her on-screen talent and alleged off-screen torture of her adopted children. What Crawford should have gotten more attention for, though, was her food habits. Per the Daily Mail, Photoplay magazine claimed in 1929 that Crawford was known to have a lunch of a few spoonfuls of soup, rhubarb, and crackers with mustard, with the publication going on to warn against the dangers of a diet similar to this. Crawford didn't survive on rhubarb soup and crackers alone, though. She wrote a cookbook full of other meals that, albeit more filling than her alleged lunch, are equally as unappealing. One of Crawford's cookbook recipes was veal mousse. The recipe is an aspic, a popular food of the time that's essentially a savory gelatin mold. The blogger of Silver Screen Suppers tried the recipe and said it tasted fine, but the texture was unappetizing. Crawford also had recipes for biscuit cheese straws, almond soup, creamed white onions in a red pepper cup, and poached salmon with a mayonnaise mustard dressing, all of which sound interesting. Judy Garland was forced to live off soup and cigarettes. There might not have been a star in Hollywood who was as grossly mistreated as Judy Garland. The talented actor and singer known for her iconic role in The Wizard of Oz battled addiction for much of her life after her grueling film schedule and demands from studio executives, namely Louis B. Mayer of MGM, resulted in dependency. They had us working days and nights on end. They'd give us pills to keep us on our feet long after we were exhausted. Then they'd take us to the studio hospital and knock us out with sleeping pills, Garland told biographer Paul Donnelly. In addition to forcing Garland to take pills, MGM executives put her on a strict diet, as they feared how the actor, who stood just under 5 feet tall, would appear on screen. Garland was only allowed to eat chicken soup, drink black coffee, and smoke cigarettes. Elvis Presley ate meatloaf daily. Elvis Presley was known for living in excess. Presley had frivolous spending habits, lived in an enormous home, and he truly ate like a king. Known for eating peanut butter and banana sandwiches, Presley was also fond of classic Southern fare. Elvis grew up on good old Southern food. He loved meatloaf, mashed potato, fried chicken, mac and cheese. Anything that he grew up on was some of his favorites. Presley archivist Angie Marchese told Express while on a virtual tour. Presley loved meatloaf so much that for 6 months he had it every day for dinner with a side of mashed potatoes. He definitely was a creature of habit, so if it was made in the South, he liked it, Marchese said. The King was also a burger fanatic and loved to order from the fast food joint Crystal. Presley wasn't fond of every food, though. The superstar hated fish, particularly the smell of it being cooked. In fact, Presley hated fish so much that he banned it from Graceland. Jayne Mansfield ate 1 meal per day. Jayne Mansfield, the dazzling star of films like The Girl Can't Help It and The Sheriff of Fractured Jaw, captivated audiences with her beauty, wit, and undeniable charm. Her life, tragically cut short at 34 in a car accident, left behind a legacy and a family that included her daughter, Mariska Hargitay, who would later become a household name in Law & Order, Special Victims Unit. Yet beneath Mansfield's glamorous exterior lay a quirksome ritual that puzzled even her closest friends: her daily diet. The actress famously ate just 1 meal a day, a steak dinner. But here's the twist: she couldn't stand the taste of meat. "I really don't like meat," she once confessed to a reporter, leaving them baffled. So why the steak? Perhaps it was a nod to her Hollywood image, or simply a habit she couldn't break. But before that solitary slab of beef, Mansfield indulged in a ritual far more fitting for her vivacious persona: a pre-dinner cocktail. "I do like cocktails. A pink lady before dinner," she'd purr. The drink, a frothy concoction of gin, applejack, lemon juice, grenadine, and egg white, mirrored her own blend of sass and sophistication. For a woman who lived life in technicolor, even her eating habits were a testament to her larger-than-life allure. Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner, the sultry siren of Hollywood's golden age, was as enigmatic off-screen as she was on. Known for her roles in films like The Killers and Mogambo, Gardner possessed a mystique that extended to her daily habits. One such quirk involved her iced tea ritual. She insisted it be served with exactly 3 ice cubes, each sourced from a different batch of water. Why 3? Why different batches? The answers remain as elusive as the actress herself. Gardner never publicly disclosed the reasoning behind this peculiar demand, leaving it to speculation. Some suggest it was a nod to her meticulous nature, others to her love of ritual. Regardless, the habit became a footnote in her legend, a quirky detail that added to her allure. Coupled with her diet of cottage cheese, eggs, and vegetables, a far cry from the indulgences often associated with Hollywood stars, Gardner's ice cube ritual remains a testament to her unique blend of glamour and eccentricity. Barbara Lamar. Barbara Lamar, the enigmatic star of the silent film era, was as captivating off-screen as she was on. Known for her roles in films like The Girl from Montmartre, Lamar's life was a whirlwind of glamour, scandal, and self-destruction. Her eating habits, heavily influenced by the diet culture of the 1920s, were a testament to the extreme measures Hollywood demanded of its stars. Lamar was known to survive on crash diets, often consuming little more than a few sips of broth or a handful of grapes to maintain her ethereal figure. She once admitted to ingesting a tapeworm in a pill to suppress her appetite, a dangerous and desperate tactic that underscored the lengths to which she went to conform to the era's beauty standards. Her relentless pursuit of thinness, combined with her hard partying lifestyle and alcohol consumption, ultimately took a devastating toll on her health. By the end of her short life, Lamar weighed less than 80 pounds and succumbed to tuberculosis and nephritis at just 29 years old. Her tragic end served as a stark reminder of the destructive power of Hollywood's obsession with physical perfection. Barbara Stanwick. Barbara Stanwyck, the formidable actress celebrated for her roles in films like The Lady Eve and Double Indemnity, was as meticulous about her craft as she was about her food. One of her quirkiest demands was that her pasta sauce be prepared exclusively with tomatoes that had ripened under the sun, specifically those grown on movie sets. Stanwyck believed that the unique conditions of on-set filming, from the lighting to the atmosphere, imbued the tomatoes with a distinct flavor that could not be replicated elsewhere. This insistence on authenticity extended beyond her acting. It was a reflection of her dedication to creating an immersive experience, both on and off screen. While her tomato preference might seem eccentric, it was emblematic of her broader philosophy, that every detail, no matter how small, contributed to the artistry of her work. Her commitment to this belief made her not just a great actress, but a true artist in the kitchen as well. Bette Davis. Bette Davis, the legendary actress whose fiery performances in films like All About Eve and Jezebel cemented her status as a Hollywood icon, was just as intense in her personal life as she was on screen. One of her most peculiar rituals involved her morning oatmeal, which had to be served precisely at 5:30 a.m. But the timing was only half the story. Davis insisted that the oatmeal be stirred exactly 37 times to achieve the perfect texture. This meticulous routine was not just about satisfying her palate, it was a reflection of her disciplined approach to her craft. She believed that the ritual set the tone for her day, allowing her to focus on her performances with laser-like precision. Additionally, Davis had a curious habit of eating only red foods before important scenes, convinced that they gave her a dramatic energy boost. Whether it was rare steak, beets, or tomatoes, the color red seemed to fuel her intensity. Her dedication to these quirks, while eccentric, was a testament to her unwavering commitment to her art. Audrey Hepburn ate only boiled eggs. Audrey Hepburn, the timeless symbol of grace and elegance, was as meticulous about her diet as she was about her craft. Her eating habits were a reflection of her disciplined lifestyle, which she believed was essential to maintaining her slender figure and radiant health. Hepburn's breakfast was a ritual of simplicity and restraint. She would eat only one boiled egg and a piece of fruit, a routine she followed religiously. Her meals throughout the day were equally controlled, consisting primarily of vegetables, fruits, and nuts. She avoided processed foods and sugary treats, opting instead for natural, whole foods that nourished her body without excess. Water was her beverage of choice, a habit that not only kept her hydrated, but also aligned with her commitment to a clean and healthy lifestyle. Hepburn's diet was not just about weight management. It was a statement of her philosophy on life: simplicity, balance, and self-discipline. Her approach to food mirrored her approach to her career: meticulous, thoughtful, and always with an eye toward perfection. Despite the rigors of her routine, Hepburn's diet was a testament to her belief that true beauty comes from within, nurtured by the choices we make every day. Carole Lombard ate only white foods. Carole Lombard, the vibrant and charismatic actress known for her roles in films like To Be or Not to Be and Nothing Sacred, had a unique approach to her diet that was as distinctive as her on-screen presence. Lombard believed that eating only foods that were white in color, such as rice, chicken, and fish, would help her maintain a pale and flawless complexion. This belief was rooted in the beauty standards of the time, which favored a porcelain-like skin tone as a symbol of elegance and refinement. During filming, Lombard's diet was even more restrictive. She consumed nothing but tomato juice, hard-boiled eggs, and green grapes. Her insistence on having the grapes peeled and seeded by her staff before consumption was a testament to her meticulous nature and her dedication to maintaining her appearance. Lombard's diet was not just about health. It was a statement of her commitment to her image and her craft. For her, every meal was an opportunity to enhance her beauty and, by extension, her performance on screen. Her unique dietary habits were a reflection of her larger-than-life personality and her unwavering pursuit of perfection. Carrie Grant. Carrie Grant was known for his charm and elegance, and his morning routine was a true reflection of his refined nature. Every day he began with a unique breakfast ritual that set a graceful tone for the day ahead. He would sit quietly and savor a single poached egg floating in warm beef broth, and he believed this unusual combination helped keep his voice smooth and clear. He took his time with each bite, and he developed a habit of chewing every morsel exactly 20 times while he kept count with a small clicker that was always by his side. This was not merely a method of eating, but a carefully crafted ritual that celebrated precision and discipline. When it came to his steak, he would only enjoy it if it was cut into perfectly equal portions using a golden knife and arranged in a symmetrical pattern on his plate. Every detail of his meal mattered greatly to him, and he believed that order in his dining experience was a reflection of order in his life. His breakfast ritual was a daily reminder that even the simplest moments could be transformed into an art form when approached with care and intention. Charles Laughton. Charles Laughton was a man who embraced the dramatic in every aspect of his life, and his approach to water was no exception. Each day he performed a simple act that was transformed into a personal ceremony. He believed that water was not just a drink, but a medium of purity and theatricality. With great care, he would pour his water through a vintage copper contraption that had been passed down through generations in his family, and he watched as the water passed through with a sense of awe. For him, the act of filtering water was more than a mundane task, and it elevated a common necessity into an artful performance. He saw beauty in the tradition and in the craftsmanship of the contraption, and felt that it imbued the water with a purity that was both genuine and dramatic. This daily ritual reminded him of his heritage and his commitment to excellence in every detail. Charles Laughton took immense pride in his unusual practice, and it became a symbol of his belief that even the simplest elements of life could be transformed into a timeless performance. Clara Bow. Clara Bow was celebrated for her vibrant spirit and luminous beauty, and she held a firm belief that her diet was the key to maintaining her clear and radiant complexion. Every day, she carefully selected only white foods, and her choices were deliberate and meaningful. She would enjoy cauliflower and rice, and she drank milk with the conviction that these foods kept her skin glowing and her energy bright. Occasionally, she would indulge in white bread, but only if it was baked that very day, so that the freshness was never compromised. Clara Bow saw simplicity as the ultimate form of elegance and trusted that her focused approach to food would enhance both her appearance and her inner vitality. Her dietary practice was not just a set of restrictions, but a celebration of purity and clarity. Each meal was a moment of mindful appreciation for the nourishment that she carefully chose. Through her disciplined choices, Clara Bow demonstrated that beauty and health could blossom from the simplest ingredients when prepared with love and intention. Gable. Hollywood's leading man, renowned for his roles in Gone with the Wind and It Happened One Night, was as meticulous off-screen as he was charismatic on-screen. Gable's morning ritual began with a cup of coffee prepared to exacting standards. Exactly 2 drops of cream, no sugar, and stirred clockwise precisely 5 times. This ritual was not merely a preference but a testament to his disciplined nature. Before romantic scenes, he would eat raw onions, a habit intended to irritate co-stars like Vivien Leigh, though he also claimed the pungent bulbs boosted his virility. Carrying onions in his pockets and snacking on them throughout the day like apples, he treated them as a symbol of masculine vigor. To maintain his rugged physique, Gable insisted on drinking a gallon of milk daily, believing it was essential for his strength and screen presence. These quirks, while eccentric, reflected his larger-than-life persona, a blend of precision, humor, and unapologetic confidence that defined his era. Deborah Kerr. The British actress, celebrated for her roles in The King and I and From Here to Eternity, brought the same attention to detail to her meals as she did to her performances. Kerr's peculiar demand for her soup to be stirred counterclockwise only was rooted in her belief that any other method disrupted the balance of flavors. This ritual, seemingly minor, underscored her dedication to sensory perfection, mirroring her nuanced approach to acting. Her insistence on this unconventional stirring technique highlighted her appreciation for subtle details, a trait that likely translated into her craft. Kerr's culinary quirks, while eccentric, were a reflection of her artistic integrity, evidence that her commitment to excellence extended beyond the screen and into the everyday moments of her life. Doris Day. The beloved actress and singer, known for her roles in Pillow Talk and The Man Who Knew Too Much, was a trailblazer in her dietary choices long before wellness trends dominated. Day's commitment to health was unwavering. She consumed only organic foods and drank exclusively distilled water, believing these choices were key to maintaining her radiant beauty and energy. Her dedication to organic eating, decades ahead of its time, reflected her forward-thinking mindset and alignment with nature. Day's wholesome image, both on and off-screen, was reinforced by her disciplined lifestyle, which prioritized purity and simplicity. Her choices not only shaped her physical well-being, but also contributed to her enduring legacy as a symbol of timeless grace and integrity. Douglas Fairbanks, Sr. The swashbuckling icon of silent film, Douglas Fairbanks Sr. was as renowned for his physical prowess as he was for his acting skills. His diet was a testament to his commitment to maintaining the energy and vitality required for his roles. For breakfast and lunch, Fairbanks consumed only raw beef, believing it enhanced his athletic abilities. The meat had to be ground fresh each morning and served at exactly room temperature, a ritual he adhered to with precision. This habit was not merely a preference, but a reflection of his dedication to his craft. Fairbanks's films, such as The Thief of Baghdad and Robin Hood, demanded a level of physicality that few actors could match, and he credited his diet with keeping him in peak condition. His insistence on fresh, uncooked meat underscored his belief in natural, unprocessed foods as a source of strength and endurance. Though unconventional by today's standards, Fairbanks's dietary habits were emblematic of his larger-than-life persona and his relentless pursuit of excellence both on and off screen.